Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today, and if you told me I'd be planting myself in this chair right here and talking about Fallout New Vegas 2 this week and that it was plausible, I would have called you crazy. But Bethesda, Microsoft, they said, hey, you like the internet? We're breaking that with an announcement. And Bethesda with a little bit of a juke move on PlayStation, you know, kind of crazy. PlayStation Nation! What is up, everybody? Let's go! You guys like Spider-Man? I know you like Spider-Man. Xbox, you hate Spider-Man, bro. Wait, why are you so salty, dude? What? We just got Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Bethesda's in the bag, baby. And Spider-Man? Come on, let's go. All right, bet. Oh, is it our turn now? You seem really quiet all of a sudden, PlayStation. Oh, man. You guys like Deathloop? Okay, you can have it, dude. We got everything. We own it all. And its future. Come on, say something. Look at me. Look at me right now. Say something about Xbox. I dare you. I dare you. You're mighty quiet all of a sudden.
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Microsoft officially owns Bethesda. I'm sure you've seen 1,000,001 videos on it. It was industry-shattering news because of the fact that it is easily, in gaming history, the biggest acquisition we've seen thus far. A huge move by Microsoft. But for most of us who are enthusiasts, who really care about the Fallout license, there's major implications to that because Microsoft not only owns Bethesda now, who has worked on Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76, but now we also have Microsoft owning Obsidian Entertainment, who are masters of role-playing games, and they created what is widely considered the best Fallout game, Fallout New Vegas. It seems like a match made in heaven because now you've got Microsoft as the middleman. Not only that, though, a lot of people haven't talked about this, but inXile just released the absolutely fantastic, super under-discussed Wasteland 3. Wasteland gave birth to Fallout, and not only that, Brian Fargo, one of the founding fathers of Fallout, still works at inXile. It is like if they just did a trifecta and worked on the ultimate Fallout game. We have had fan theories about this stuff, man, and it's possible. It's actually possible. I refuse to believe that we're going to leave the Fallout license dormant and just have 76 exist. There are too many people who have worked on Fallout underneath this Microsoft umbrella to not seize this opportunity. And something very well may be underway, but that's speculitis in my veins. Keep that in mind. Take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, let's get this started. How's the whole conversation begin? With Obsidian's tweet, as I mentioned yesterday. Now, out of all of the information that was popping out, all of the excitement from the Bethesda acquisition from Microsoft, the last thing that not only I think we all expected to hear about, but that Obsidian would even acknowledge it, is about working on Fallout New Vegas 2. So here's the tweet again. When they were asked about it being a possibility, they sort of shrugged their shoulders. Now, I feel like, to me, once again, speculators in my veins, I go, why would you ever acknowledge that unless something is already underway? It just seems to me like they already know the internet would absolutely explode with that acknowledgement, which it did, mind you. Now here's where we tie everything together. This is where it gets a little bit nutty, in my opinion. So we know right now, we're going to look at Obsidian. They're very busy. They're working on Avowed, which is their new AAA IP, kind of like Skyrim. They're also working on Outer Worlds DLC. They just released their first piece of content for that. It is called Peril on Gorgon, and I thought it was actually pretty good. More of the same, but that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to the Outer Worlds. Furthermore, they have a small team working on Grounded right now, which is a little bit more of a success than I think Obsidian anticipated. So right now, Obsidian's hot, but Obsidian's got a lot of projects going on. With that said, it was now confirmed that the Microsoft and Bethesda deal started all the way back in 2018. So it's very well possible that something could have been kindled right then and there. Now here's our proof. Emanuela Zaccone tweeted out, since the news is out, I can finally tell this. Bobblehead whispered to me the great Bethesda and Microsoft news in 2018 at the first Xbox Fan Fest in Italy. What a relief to be able to finally confess it. Because I could, right? Phil Spencer. So if Bethesda was already in talks with Microsoft to get a deal done back in 2018, I imagine what was left now was just legality, paperwork, all that stuff throughout this year. But let's say a deal was done in place. Is it possible that with Bethesda knowing that they were going to go ahead and sign up with Microsoft at some point in time, that they handed the license over to Obsidian? Now, Maddie, you sound insane, dude. Shut up. And, you know, I'm going to agree, even with this speculation and what I'm going to show you guys, it still is kind of crazy. But there's still, minus all I'm about to show you, the possibility that I laid out to you in the intro of that video. So just keep that in mind. But let's talk about the project director and lead designer of Fallout New Vegas itself. So back in August, Josh Sawyer, once again, lead designer and project director of New Vegas, tweeted out, "The job of a studio design director. I am the studio design director at Obsidian Entertainment. This is, for a lack of a better term, the top design position at the studio." He's answering someone's question over on his Tumblr. Someone says, "Thanks for the explanation. Sad to see you aren't directly overseeing your own project, but I imagine your contributions are now much more important for the studio as a whole. Good to see Obsidian having success recently." And he goes, "I am directing my own project now. It's just not avowed." When asked about whether or not Obsidian is producing another Fallout, Josh said, "Beats me. I just work here." And his response to the event was just video games. Okay, so here's the thing, right? If he was working on the Outer Worlds DLC, he could have confirmed that. If he was working on Grounded, which he's not, we already know who's directing that project, he could have confirmed that. If he was working on Avowed, it was already out at that point, he could have confirmed that. So there is this unknown project happening at Obsidian that could very well be in pre-production, right? And it could have just started as early as August with some type of documenting and laying things out. But it's very well possible that Obsidian is heading up another Fallout game. And I don't want to leap into it too deeply and say, like, it's happening, guys. But I just think there is too much potential to leave it dormant, as I said earlier. And I do think some of the pieces fit together here where there could be something brewing. Once again, take it with a grain of salt. Don't go running around, bothering Josh, bothering everyone, saying, "Oh my God, it's happening," because we don't know for sure. But I didn't want to ignore this glaringly obvious public information that is available to all of us and absolutely worth discussing. Fallout New Vegas 2 is possible. This is exactly why, guys. It is crazy that we can even talk about this stuff, man. And now, that's not even considering inXile, who, like I said, just released Wasteland 3. Now, some of the members of inXile are more known for the older style Fallout games, the isometric Fallout RPGs. Now, if you like Fallout and you like isometric, which is what it used to be, then you'll absolutely love what Wasteland is doing. I think it's really hard to say, outside of there just being squad-based combat, that there's much of a difference between the two at this point in time, and that pretty much what inXile is doing is filling that Fallout void for people that was missing. At least they did it for me, right? I haven't gotten a true Fallout fix since way before, like 76 with Fallout 4 and its Far Harbor DLC, I'd say. That was like one of the best feeling Fallout experiences I've had in my recent memory. But now inXile has finished that project. They have confirmed they're working on DLC, so that is out there. All these teams have their own projects, but I just think that it's no coincidence that Microsoft went ahead and acquired all of these companies, and they all happen to have worked on RPGs together at some point in time, most notably Fallout. I'm not saying that they bought Bethesda to get the deal done for a new Fallout game. Not at all. But now Microsoft is that perfect middleman, because I don't think Bethesda was ever going to reach out to Obsidian. We know Bethesda had a long history of pretty much ignoring Obsidian, and vice versa. Obsidian said they're open to it many times, in fact, that they would love to work on another Fallout game. So now you've got that middleman with Xbox right there that can set this deal up, right? So that's where the potential truly lies, in the setup of Xbox managing all of these different companies. But I just think that it affects the Fallout license the most. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about it today, that maybe something's underway. If not, there's still a lot of reasons to believe why sometime down the line we'll see more Fallout. However, come 2021, 2022, maybe I'll just sound like a lunatic. Who knows? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you today. Fallout New Vegas 2 is possible, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be called that, by the way. That's kind of a gross name, but it's going to be something, a new Fallout game. And that would be great. That would be incredible. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I leave it in your very capable hands. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all think. Fire away in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. Big thank you to all of the patrons, all of the members who continue to kill it with the support here. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And I'll talk with you guys soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.